Previously on Gears. Today.
Or we might, from now on, as Maz brilliantly suggested, call it boobs.
With a Z.
How's that, eh?
Yes.
Isn't that clever? Boobs. Boobs.
That's awesome. Okay, I've got an intro. Can I start?
Yes, you can start your intro.
Okay, from incredible shots to rules and near disqualifications, and of course the latest owner of the prestigious green jacket, the past weekend of golf is probably one that will be remembered for a very long time. Today we are chatting to one of the world's top golf directors who has become an icon in the South African golf industry. It's Jeff Claus. Jeff has brought his dynamic personality, wonderful personal skills, and customer service ethic to world-class establishments such as Fancourt, Pazula, and the St. Francis Links. Jeff was born in the Midwest of the United States of America in Jefferson, Iowa. Initially, he was heading for a career in marketing and public relations at the University of Iowa. However, shortly after leaving university, one of his mentors got the head pro position in Des Moines, and Jeff was recruited into the golf industry. He worked in Texas for 11 years before being enticed to come to South Africa. In fact, it was the tennis side of sport that actually brought him to South Africa through Billy Freer, a former South African Wimbledon competitor who ran a big tennis facility in Texas. He became the first director of golf at Fancourt just after it opened in 1991 and was there until 1997. He has subsequently also been golf director at Pazula and then moved to his present position at the St. Francis Links. It is common knowledge that any golfer visiting a course where Jeff is in charge will be in for a high quality and friendly experience. Jeff is one of the most knowledgeable people in the golf majors, and today we are privileged to welcome him to Gears on Balls Visual Radio. Hi, Jeff.
Hi there, how you doing?
Good.
Hey,
and you?
Jeff, long time. It's Sasha here.
Nice to see you again, Sasha. Last time we met was in Knysna a few years back.
It was quite a long time ago, man. It's great to have you on the show. Thanks for joining us.
No, it's great to be here. I actually previewed this yesterday about this time.
Excellent.
But now we're now we've traveled the world. I'm all the way up in this big JHB, and love to talk to you about either Alonso's victory or Tiger's failure. Which would you like to talk about?
Well, I think we've got quite a lot to talk about. Let's get Disi to kick it off, though.
Jeff, I mean, the 2013 Masters was amazing that we watched this past weekend. I'm personally so pleased that Adam Scott won his first major after coming so close. What are your thoughts on Adam winning and of the past weekend of golf?
Well, I think it maybe not as many South Africans stayed up last night to watch an Aussie win, but he was certainly the deserved champion. My ex-boss coaches Angel Cabrera, been there, done that. But I think after Ernie coming with great golf to knock him off at the Open last year, it showed so much character and so much class to seize victory from the jaws.
It was a remark. I mean, she was the 18th that shot from Cabrera that got into the playoff, and then they both cocked it up on the 18th on the playoff. But that putt at number 10, I mean, he must have had so many emotions about the Open last year going through his head, and he just managed to hold his composure. That really has taken the monkey off the back.
Yeah, certainly taking the monkey off the back. You know, one of the amazing things, Sasha, about golf is that they have to stay in the moment. And that's all he could say afterwards was, I kept staying in the moment, staying in the moment. And I happen to think that last year that a very qualified caddy in Steve, who of course was on somebody else's bag for a few years, I don't think he kept him in the moment at the Open. But I certainly heard him talking to him coming down the stretch yesterday.
Yeah, that's for sure. I think Steve's now got more majors than anybody else.
That's without a doubt. I think he has.
Jeff, let's talk. I really would respect your opinion on Tiger Woods and what happened on the 15th on the Saturday.
Yeah.
It seems so muddled, and there's been rule changes, etc., etc. But in just the normal laws of golf, he, in my opinion, has signed the wrong card. What is your take on exactly what happened?
Yeah, okay. Well, it's about three different directions you've got to take this.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of anticipated the question, and I needed to know for myself and for my members and friends, because my first reaction was, how can you let this guy off? But the rule clearly states if you drop in the wrong place, it's a two-shot penalty.
Yeah.
If you're aware that you've dropped in the wrong place, you've got to go back and replay. And if you go off to the next hole and you haven't replayed, then you could be subject to worse. In this particular case, I don't think it may have come up at all if he hadn't said it himself.
Yes.
So as I'm not even going to get into my opinion of what he should or shouldn't have done. The next rule basically states that effectively it is a two-shot penalty unless it's considered a serious breach or a breach that would be advantageous to the player. And quite frankly, this is where it gets a bit ugly, because Tiger himself said, I dropped back 2 club lengths so I could get the distance right. and that to me clearly states advantageous.
Exactly.
So I must tell you, as much as I respect his game, I think of Jim Furyk or there's other people in the world who we've all witnessed make a mistake and stick around for the weekend and come back and play the next year. I think if you take it to the letter of the law, Sasha, the bottom line is it's the committee's decision to decide whether it was a serious breach. And I think they're saying, as the rule book allows, it was not a serious breach. He didn't intentionally gain considerable ground by doing it. But I'll close my thoughts about it by saying the golf gods basically took care of it last night.
Yeah.
He just didn't make any putts.
Yeah, there we go. I mean, had he won the tournament last night, I think we'd be it really would be all over the wires today. So in a way, probably justice was served.
Yeah, it's kind of funny too. You know, they say Augusta, it's a tournament, it's not a championship, but they invite the champions to play. And they have their own committee, and they have their people who set up the golf course and do all those things. And the amazing thing is that this I think it's Fred Ridley, who's the face behind the committee position. You know, they called him in, they replayed it, they actually went all the steps. And the question is asked, well, what if it was somebody else?
Yeah.
And we always ask that. What if it was somebody else? Would they have kept the course going, or would they have made a different call? And I actually think there's so much scrutiny that they probably made the decision they had to. And yet, when you look back, there was 2 decisions taken on the week. One by John Paramore, who's probably the most respected European rules official, when he gave the young Chinese boy, the 14-year-old, who was the first ever to make the cut, low amateur, he almost knocked him out by giving him a penalty shot for slow play.
Yes.
In a situation where I think the last time they gave a penalty shot for slow play was about 1995 or 1895. I mean, they're notorious for slow play. Imagine if the Chinese would have attacked the United States after that.
Jeff, if I'm not mistaken, you were at the Masters last year. Is that right?
I was above the Masters, about 6 inches off the ground for 6 days. Yes. I never touched ground.
Oh, really? Well, and I've chatted to Mark and Jake about this. Apparently, Jake's also been to the Masters before, and apparently, us viewers watching the Masters on TV, we don't have any idea of the undulation and slopes on the fairways and greens. Is it far more severe in real life when you're at Augusta?
Yeah, I'm going to give you 3 answers to that. One, yes, you can never begin to appreciate the elevation changes, both up and down. And another thing that you're not going to get, I'll come to that in a second, but you don't realize the proximity of holes to each other, because for many years they never even showed a helicopter view. They never showed an 18-hole layout. I mean, the 6th green is right above the 16th green. You know, when people sit on the hill above the 16th green and you see them, they're actually under the 6th tee as well, playing downhill. So that's why the roars almost stop play. But it's like they knew when they developed the golf course that it was going to be built for spectators. And there are so many great places to watch it from. But there is one suggestion I have. Don't take the walk from 16 back up to the clubhouse at the end of the day. That's a little bit like climbing Kilimanjaro after a long day of watching golf.
Oh, that's so funny. I'm moving on now. We had 8 South Africans playing in the field this week, and 6 made the cut. Do you think South Africa is producing future major winners through the growing number of Sunshine Tour events and the competitive and high quality of golf being played?
I don't think there's any doubt about it. South Africans, I've often had people from around the world, guests I've hosted here, Americans that I've gone back and visited, and the amazing thing is South Africans have always overpunched their weight, and yet there's just that never give up attitude. And I even favored a Richard Sterney to have a better weekend than he did. And amazing to see Gracie in his first week. He makes the cut on the number. It's the first time he's ever looked at the golf course, and then he goes 4 under on the weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, that just shows the depth. And you have to know that even with golf, I think to an extent in decline. They're saying that 20% less American juniors are playing golf today than there was before. But look at this young Chinese boy. I can't pronounce his name.
Yeah.
Yuan
But
Ling.
at the end of the day, yeah, what they're saying, and they asked him in the prize giving, what do you think this means in China? Well, they know exactly what it means in China and Asia. I mean, it's probably going to jumpstart the world over there. And I think that the South Africans that continue to come out of South Africa, like Hayden Porteous, Leon Brandon Stone, who's now in America, he'll be the next one out there. I'd love to see him get a degree, but I'll bet you he'll be on tour before you can blink. And Hayden, and there's more, and there's more following them. The amazing thing is, I mean, look at this year's SA Amateur Champion. How old is he? 16. So it just keeps coming, and I think it's an incredible thing. No more golfers at Augusta this year outside America than South Africa.
Wow. Incredible stuff.
It is. And then my final question, you hosting, obviously I mentioned you the current golf director at St. Francis Links, and you're hosting the Sunshine Tour Vodacom Origins of Golf final this year. What can the pros and amateurs expect? Are there any extra special Jeff Claus exciting things happening? Because I know anything that happens around you is just incredibly cool.
Well, I think the first thing I'll do is I'll serve with the trophy a Santa Burger for their prize. But no, the one thing about St. Francis Links is I've been blessed to have had the opportunity to be at Fancourt and then be at a Pazula. I've always been on the coast, but the golf courses in this country are diverse, but all great. And St. Francis Links is a golf course that it will challenge anybody. It's fair, but it will challenge them. And I don't think there's any doubt that all we have to do is move the pins, and the right guy will be at the top. The last Origins final that we hosted, kind of the launching board for Jakob van Zyl. He went on. That was his first win, and he went on. You see what he's done since then. So
Wow.
I expect the champion will be there in October when we host it, and I also hope that one day the whole flipping world will see us hosting a major tournament. But that's what's great about South African golf. Not only are they producing golfers, but how about 6 coast-sanctioned events? And I'll bet you that next year they're going to add Mauritius and make it 7.
Oh, that's terrific. Jeff, it's great to catch up with you again. Definitely when I'm down in that part of the country, I'll definitely pop in and come and say hello.
I call everybody Pards. But Sasha, Pards, my girl, come and see us. We will make you feel very special.
Always. Thank you very much, Jeff. Hope to catch up with you again soon.
Look forward to it.
All
Thanks
right.
for the call.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Weekdays from 12 to 2 p.m. Central African Time.
Beautiful.
Gears with Sasha Martinengo on balls.co.za.